covering the RTX SC3 Trench roller. This is the newest version. RT stands for roller trench. The 3 would refer to, we have 3 optical eyes on this machine now for the user to connect with the remote control. One thing that separates us from our competitors is the type of remote control for this unit. This is an infrared controlled unit, meaning that the user needs direct line of sight to the machine to operate it. It's not remote control where the user can be in their truck or their trailer operating the machine unsafely. The user has to be able to see the machine at all times. But we needed to add a 3rd eye to make sure that it could be operated at all times because it needs that line of sight. This is considered the safest trench roller on the market because the user has to be constantly watching the machine when it's running. A couple of common things that come up with the operation of the machine that I'd like to share with you. There's the front end, this is the back end. A lot of people get it confused. The remote control rests in here. It's a battery powered remote control, should last about 12 hours. If for some reason it's out of battery, it charges on the machine. There's, if you come over here, you'll just see a little receptacle here. And you just take this and plug it in together to charge up that controller. If for some reason the controller is dead and you need to operate it or the user needs to operate it, we provide a cable to connect the controller to the machine manually. Obviously this cannon plug, the larger one, goes into here, and the smaller end will connect to the cannon plug on the controller. When you first switch the machine on, it'll show a red light. It's running through its diagnostics here. All these lights light up to just make sure they work. It goes yellow, that means it's waiting for connection to the remote control. On the remote control, the user presses, there's a power indicator here, it's the big red button. Now the machine is flashing, saying that it knows that we're connected to the controller. The most common problem that is probably going to come up with the end user on this is they're going to call in saying that the machine isn't operating properly. It's not running. The lights are on, but it's not working. If the lights are flashing this fast, that means that this controller is too close to the unit. You'll see decals here on the machine that say you can't get any closer than 2 meters or 6.5 feet to the machine. That's for safety purposes. So if I back away with the controller, all of a sudden, the lights start flashing slower. That means that now the operator can safely operate the machine. Just a common problem that comes up. These units are constantly run on hills and are prone to tip over, just like any other remote trench roller. This machine specifically has a shutdown, so if it does tip over on site, it will automatically shut off the engine. The reason being obvious, you don't want the engine running on its side. It's not designed to do that. It could do a lot of permanent damage to the diesel engine, big expense. These machines will automatically shut off. Depending on the settings that you choose, you can have a lockout that prevents the end user from restarting it on site. Just a little tiny side note that I want to mention here. This little dongle that's added in with the machine must be kept separate from the machine in best case scenario, and then your mechanic can come in, reset the machine if it's on that setting. If you want to leave it on a setting where the user can restart it on site, that's fine as well. The drums themselves on this machine, just put that there, come with 2 sides. They're 36 inches wide normally. When these 2 sides come off, the machine goes down to 32 inches. That will depend on the width of the trench that the end user is operating the machine in. Keep in mind that when these 2 drum sides are off, the unit is a lot less stable on a hill. Kevin, do you want to continue on?
Sure, absolutely. Just getting back to the remote control, remember there is 2 frequencies for this unit and there's 2 speeds. One of the most user-friendly remote controls in the market today. This remote control is used on aerial platforms, on construction sites. There's no interference with any of the infrared. remote controls on site. That's something that's very important to remember. But a great machine, easy to use, very user-friendly. You got 2 speeds, 2 frequencies, and then of course left or right for turning, forward and reverse. So very easy to utilize that way. I'm just gonna get Eric close this end up here, and I'm gonna open up the hoods to kind of go through what's underneath the trench roller. On the maintenance and service side of it, everything's very accessible. Wacker Neuson takes great pride in being able to manufacture product that mechanics and service personnel can get in and do easily enough. So your control block, your battery, all your electrical, your filters. You got your oil filter here, your fuel filter on the other side, your air filter, your alternator. Everything is very accessible. All your fluids, all your electrical, all your hydraulic lines, your blocks are very accessible. Time is money. When you're talking about time and money on the service side of it, something Wacker's improved over the years is we have implemented a greasing system within the eccentrics and the drum, where before it used to be an oil bath. So now that's going to save your mechanics anywhere from 2 to 8 hours on the service side of it in case they have to get in there and service the eccentrics or anything inside that drum system. Just continuing on the service side, I'm just going to crouch down here and show you. We have also external drains. So you have your hydraulic external drain, radiator external drain, and your engine oil external drain. There again, another real time saver for the mechanics and the people in the service department that have to get this unit back out into fleet as soon as they can get it in, get it serviced. Time is money again. This unit has a central lifting point. So on construction sites, everybody has to move a piece of equipment. If you can't move it, or it breaks down on site, or you have to remove it from a deck of a truck or put it back up onto the deck of a truck, you always need a central lift point. If you're going to use the central lift point, please do make sure that you secure the stabilization bar. Stabilization bar is going to protect this unit. The reason why we paint it red is so that it's easy to find, and it signifies that's what it's for. You lock it into place, and that's going to save any pressure happening on the pin right there.